Hey everyone, Mr. Clutch here looking at SPY and QQQ's action for Thursday, June 29th. And so I've just got it on the 15 minute. If you remember the video from yesterday, we drew out our zones for going into today, what we were looking at. So we had this zone from the high yesterday, this zone from the low. And I went back and just drew one before the video, and it was the next high zone if you go far enough back where there's some pricing. And look where we ended up hitting in that zone today. So really clean from the zone perspective. I've been kind of noticing this, something like this, and this as we zoom out. So we're kind of in this channel, maybe a wedge. It's not enough of an angle for me to call it necessarily a wedge, almost like a parallel channel because we could readjust the angle. I just drew this one pretty quick. But basically we're in here. So we kind of want to watch tomorrow if we break out above here early. Maybe we get up in above this channel and start looking up, or we could potentially break down. I was just going to look at RSI here, see how it's looking. Let's see what we got. So definite bearish divergence coming from all the way back here. See how we keep making lower highs on RSI. So we're looking at bearish divergence here, so potentially could get a nice little cool off here and break down maybe out of this trend line here, but that'll look much different after we add tomorrow's morning hours. So it might even break down in the after hours or early tomorrow. But I'd bring that somewhere into maybe this zone here. We come back down to this zone, maybe leak under it. So in that 433, 434 range if we break down. So anyways, just wanted to kind of show that. Let's get back to the 2 minute and just kind of look at today's action on the 2 minute. So we kind of went in between the zone from yesterday. We broke out of the high, but also broke back down, but never made it to the low zone. So it's kind of a little bit of a move up day, but nothing super clean. Let's just look here. I haven't dove into like minute by minute yet. I was watching a little bit throughout the day, but okay, so we come out, we kind of reject this here and drop out, but we keep trying to go back to it and never really never get through, but never really break out. Like you could potentially, as that breaks, you can get a nice little trend line break down there, but that's a quick flush and then it recovers again. I kind of like this right here. I wonder if we can take that from back here, look at something like that potentially, and then something like that. So we're watching this as it keeps pinching in here. And we're either looking for it to reject here and come back here or break out. So when that breaks out and it's into that zone, you're a little worried because you've rejected twice in this zone. But that's not the worst chance. Like the more times you knock on that door, that you're bound to get through eventually. So could have taken something there. Pretty steep trend line here, but I imagine if we look at volume, that cooperated on that one maybe. Yeah, so we get kind of low volume here, and then breaks out. But again, we're just kind of chopping along. We've seen this a lot the last couple days. Not a lot of follow through on these moves. So you kind of want to be quick and getting in and out. I like this one. I always like those ones where they kind of like lose it. Actually went and test the 48 and push back through, so that could have been a nice little move there. And then the rest of the day we're kind of just riding the EMAs. Now this one here looks fairly nice. That looks good right there. You break down to that. Now you've got the 200s, you gotta think you might bounce there, but it's worth maybe a shot and watching. And then you get that big sell off there. Yeah, because you could have been watching the same thing up here. So if it's coming through here, you're looking for, okay, we've got these touches, this touch. You even tighten it in a little. You might think that you're looking for a breakout here. Doesn't happen, sells off. Then you're looking for downsides. You're watching for a flag back here. Just doesn't happen, keeps climbing. Quick sell-off candle, quick recovery, quick sell-off. I mean, this is just the story of the day. You got all these little mini triangle, kind of like something like that, and you're watching that and that here. This is condensing in, boom, breaks out, take that up. But nothing's like super clean these last couple days. It's been hard to find entry and hard to really find some nice plays. Like you could have taken this breakout back here and gotten maybe like the 200 as your stop. If it sucks back in and under the 200, then you're out. So maybe there it was a pretty decent entry, but overall it's kind of tough. Let's look at Qs and see. Let's go back out to the 15 just to look. So we had our zones marked out from yesterday, and look at that. We touched both of them perfectly, and that was it for the day. We never even got to the high in intraday. We kind of just made this new zone, and we can go ahead and draw it out for tomorrow. Be something like that right there, right in the middle. Probably go ahead and just tighten this zone up a little like that, so we get a little room between them. Let's actually see if that'll go. Yeah, I think you could do that right there. So we got the touches here, we got a touch here, and then we got all these touches there. So let's look at the 2 minute and see what today looked like on on Qs. I'm just going to kind of look through here quickly and see. Now this zone wouldn't have been here intraday, so we would not be looking at it as a zone. I'll just go ahead and delete it for now so we don't get confused. So look at all these big candles both ways. That's hard to play right there. It's hard to catch any of this in my opinion. I don't love trying to get in all this. Maybe here, even though that's steep, maybe you see this kind of get up and then lose it and then wick through and come down. You might take a chance somewhere in here. Again, quick move. You could try to do the same thing there, but those are hard to catch. So then we flip it there at the zone perfectly, test the zone and bounce off, and then we're just kind of, nothing here. Like this right here might have been the best move of the day now that I'm looking at it right here. So you're also looking at the same thing on the high side like we were talking about. You're looking at this right here. If it breaks out here, you might be ready to take it. To be honest, you could have got offsides there if I look back, because like if you didn't connect that high wick and you kind of just connected these here and that almost touched it and this breaks out over the 200, that's not a bad entry. So if you happen to get stopped out going long there, don't be disappointed. But we see these a lot where like fake out one way and then go the other. So if you ever see that fake out and it kind of breaks down, be ready, because I feel like there's a lot of follow through the other way on those a lot of times. But this was a nice one. It breaks down out of our flag and then it kind of just starts pushing down. You could take that right there, and that'd be a really nice move. And it actually gave entry again right in here. I don't mind this here. Maybe once this happens, you're kind of watching and letting it see. You could get in there and you probably wouldn't have got stopped out, but even you can kind of redraw your line a little bit to kind of catch this. And then once that starts getting in, you can get in there and you probably would have scaled out, or maybe you got stopped out even not much profit, but this one here was perfect. So Q's the last 2 days given some really nice entries compared to SPY, I feel like. And then you're not playing any of this the rest of the way throughout the day. So anyways, we'll see what tomorrow brings to end the week, and just be careful. I feel like going into the 4th of July next week on Tuesday with markets closed and long, everybody's having celebrating it this weekend. May not be a lot of action, may just be a lot of chop into after the holiday. So just focus on taking the best possible plays you can with the highest upside and the lowest risk, and not throwing caution to the wind, but being very cautious and preserving your capital. With that said, hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good Thursday night, everyone.